Good day, ladies and gentlemen, CycloneDuke here once again, and today we've got something a bit outside of the norm. We've had a huge update now today in TF2. It's got a whole bunch of bug fixes, 2 new maps, all lots of good, delicious stuff. Good stuff, good stuff. So what I want to do today is I want to go over the patch notes for the weapons and items in-game, the stuff that you guys are going to see changing the game, changing how you play, changing how you kill people. This is something that I've noticed a lack of in TF2, probably because there aren't this many updates that are this big with this many changes. So let's get right to it. I'm just going to run over all of these weapon changes and what they mean to you and how they're going to work, because some of them can be a little bit complicated. So let's get to it. Some items are paintable, good for them. Some items can be showed up as sets, that's cool, whatever. Items are renameable. Bacon grease can be gift wrapping, given to friends. So, here we actually go. Dakolah. Removed. Damage taken mini crits. And now it'll make you take 25% more damage. This is a nerf in some situations and a slight buff in others. Basically, the difference is that now, when you drink Dakolah and you deal mini crits and you move faster, instead of taking mini crits, you will now just take 25% more damage. What this means is that now, if a sniper throws Jarate on you, not only will you be Jarated and taking mini crits, but you will also be taking 25% extra damage on top of that. So that's a nerf in that situation, in that when you're using the Dakolah, you can get both. That's bad. Now, the upside is that mini crits is 35% extra damage taken. So if you don't get Jarated or you don't otherwise get mini critted, this is a slight buff, because instead of taking 35% more damage because you're Jarated, you're now only taking 25%. So a slight buff, so long as you're not covered with Jarate or the Fan of War or some other effect that will get you mini critted. Not bad. Shortstop. Now, this is one of the changes that we've seen, in that, before I talk about the shortstop, one of the big changes that they've done in this update is that they have removed item set bonuses, such as the Milkman set bonus, which was 25 extra health. They've taken all of those set bonuses and put them into one of the items on the set. So the old Milkman set bonus was plus 25 health. What they've done now is they've taken that out of the item set and they've put it into the shortstop in the form of 20% extra healing when you're holding the shortstop. If you're running around holding the shortstop, any healing you receive will be 20% bigger. That's kind of there to replace the 25 health lost. This is a nerf, I'm just going to flat out tell you guys. This might be nice if you're running with a medic, with the quick fix or something. You can take a whole lot of healing. Maybe you can equip the candy cane, so health packs drop and you can get a bit more healing from it. And the drawback is 80% vulnerability to pushback while deployed. This basically means that while you are holding the shortstop pistol, anything that knocks you back, meaning pyro air blast, explosions from rockets, knockback from sentry bullets, anything that knocks you back will be nearly twice as strong. This is actually ridiculous, the air that you can get. So basically, don't be hit by explosions while you're equipping the shortstop, or you will go flying and probably take a bit of fall damage. So are we gonna see, you know, maybe shortstop and then the pretty boy's pocket pistol because you don't take falling damage if you go flying, and the candy cane? I don't know. But that's how this works, guys. While you're holding the shortstop, you'll get 20% more healing from health packs, from medics, from dispensers, and you'll be knocked back like hell. Next up, the Winger, which is the scout pistol that deals a bit more damage and has less clip, less bullets in this pistol. Now when you have it equipped, you'll jump 25% higher. That's pretty nice. Before, the Winger was just a downgrade to the pistol. It dealt slightly more damage up to the point where you would have to reload, and then the basic pistol would take over. The Winger is not a good pistol, but now, when you're holding the Winger, you will jump 25% higher. You know, and if you combine this with the Atomizer, the bat that lets you jump 3 times, holy crap, that's a lot of extra air. Winger's going to be interesting now. Next up, yeah, there's a special delivery, so whatever, that's removed. Next up, onto Soldier. Battalion's backup. This is the buff banner. This is the second buff banner that was made, the defensive one that reduces damage taken and makes it so that you and your friends cannot be crit. If a medic pops a crits Krieg, you pop your Battalion's backup, hopefully before you die, and the crits Krieg will do nothing. So the Battalion's backup has been buffed. And again, what they've done is they have removed... Where are we? They have removed the Tank Buster set. The Tank Buster set was, you know, the black box and the Battalion's backup and the hat. When you wore all 3 of those, you used to get 20% less damage taken from sentries. 20% sentry damage resistance. To be honest, not very good because, you know, you're equipping the black box, which has 1 less rocket, and you can't use a shotgun. No thank you. And, you know, of course, can't wear your hat. Yeah. No one ever used this Tank Buster set. So, they've removed the 20% damage resistance and they've baked it into the Battalion's backup by base. The Battalion's backup is going to be decent now, guys. When you use the Battalion's backup, not only do you and your friends take 35% less damage, you'll take another 15% less damage from sentries to a total of 50% damage from sentries. So you will be taking half damage from sentries, and so will all of your friends during the backup. So this probably means that it will probably be very viable to, if you have a medic, just a medic, no Uber, if you just have overheal and a backup, you can probably just, you'll live so long to just be able to kill the engineer and then maybe the sentry, you know, without an Uber. I think that's decent. And now, before, the Battalion's backup could only be charged up, you could only fill the rage bar by taking damage, and that needed 400 damage. That's a lot. That was bad. I mean, you gotta put yourself in harm's way and nearly die. No thank you. Now, you just deal damage. That's how you charge the backup, and that's much better because you can safely just spam your rockets, or you can deal, you know, a couple of nice big rockets and you're charged up way better. Check out the backup now, guys. Black box, correct sound, whatever. Beggar's Bazooka, something about an exploit, I don't know, whatever. Concheror, this is the next banner which was introduced with the whole Japan thing from Total War. It's the shell that sounds weird like that. That's, you know, or maybe a baby Wookiee, I don't know. But the Concheror is the banner which, when you use it, your friends will all lifesteal. They will heal themselves when they deal damage, like the black box, like Mad Milk. They'll heal when they do damage. Now, again, this got another change. It will only charge up from damage dealt. Again, good. You can spam your rocket safely to fuel up. But the bigger thing is that now, when you deploy the Concheror, your friends will also, in addition to healing themselves when they deal damage, they will receive a speed boost. I don't know how fast this is, but that's okay. It's still, to be frank, not as good as the buff banner, not as good as the backup, not even as good as a shotgun, I would friggin' say. But it all depends really on how powerful this speed boost is and how fast it charges up. Next up, the Cow Mangler. This is the space rocket launcher, the terrible, clunky, slow-firing, non-crits Kriegable, ridiculously bad overcharge. Never, ever use the overcharge on this weapon, guys, unless you're doing it on a sentry. Do not use the overcharge, it's terrible. Just to get a mini crit and set people on fire, just don't do it, please, guys, okay? So, what changes did it get? It's down to 4 rockets now in a clip, down from 5. It's back up to normal rocket launcher damage, and it's back up to normal reload speed. And they just added into the fact that the overcharge sets people on fire. This actually doesn't change, and it looks and sounds different. So, the base effect of all this is that now the Cow Mangler deals the same damage and has the same clip size as the default rocket launcher. So what are the differences? It still has infinite ammo. You don't need to pick up ammo crates to keep your stock up. You can still use the terrible overcharge, and it cannot be crits Krieged. So there's the difference, guys. You can shut down sentries with the overcharge. You don't run out of ammo in exchange for not being able to get any kind of crits. Not bad. A very nice buff. Might be fun. Maybe. Escape plan. This is the pickaxe that lets you sprint away when you're on low health. Now, it's in addition to no longer, you know, they nerfed it in the last patch so that you no longer deal extra damage. Now, when you're equipping the escape plan, you will take mini crits, you will be marked for death while you're holding it and for a few seconds after you put it away. So it is exactly like the running gloves, the heavy running gloves. It's exactly like that now. When you're holding it, you will take mini crits. So again, it is discouraging you from killing people with the pickaxe. You only use the escape plan now when you run away to get health packs. You do not want to be anywhere where you can take damage on low health and taking mini crits. No thank you. That's a nerf, but it's still a powerful weapon, but maybe less so now that you might actually take alternatives, such as the whip. Liberty Launcher. This is a big change, guys. Liberty Launcher is the crutch weapon. It's the rocket launcher that only has 3 rockets, but the rockets move faster. So what's happened now? They've removed the clip size penalty. This means that the Liberty Launcher now holds the full 4 rockets, just like the original rocket launcher. But the downside is now that, okay, you've gotten an extra rocket, but you'll do 25% less damage. This is a nerf, because even though you've got, basically what you're going to do now is you will do the same damage that you used to do. The damage that you used to do in 3 rockets, you will need to do now in 4 rockets. So you will have less burst damage and less sustainable damage overall. So this is, goddamn, I mean, guys, if you use the Liberty Launcher because you're having a hard time using the default rocket launcher because the rockets move a bit slow, it's time to learn how to use the default rocket launcher, because this weapon has been nerfed. The original, correct sound, whatever, tank buster, already went over it. Onto Pyro next. Phlogistinator. Before, if you had a nice big bar full of crits and you hit up a supply cabinet in your spawn, the bar would empty and the crits would be gone. You'd have to fill up the bar again. That's now been fixed. Awesome, good, because that has affected me many times. Nice fix. Powerjack. Before we talk about Powerjack, let's look at the gear jockey set. This is again the Pyro set from the from the Polycount update. This is the set that had the degreaser and the Powerjack and the hat, and the bonuses were you used to move 10% faster and bullets would hurt you 10% more. That again has now been removed and it has been added to the Powerjack. So, now what does the Powerjack do? In addition to its old effect of, if you kill someone with the Powerjack, you get 75 health, which can overheal, which is awesome. Now, when you hold the Powerjack, you will move 15% faster when you hold the Powerjack weapon. This isn't always active, only when you hold it out, and it's... I think it's a buff, to be frank, because now if it means that you can equip the Powerjack, you can get that awesome speed bonus and rush to the center point on a capture map, get there after the scouts but faster than everyone else by just equipping the Powerjack. You run around, you hold the Powerjack just to get around places. Now the drawback is that when you're holding the Powerjack, you will take 20% more damage from everything. And this is only when you hold the Powerjack. I just tested this in-game. I had a friend headshot me when I was equipping the Powerjack. He gave me a full charge headshot. It only dealt 450 damage when I had the Powerjack equipped but not held. So you only take this extra damage when you're holding the Powerjack. So now the Powerjack is kind of that utility weapon for pyros. You don't necessarily want to kill people with it, but you'll have it equipped so it'll give you utility so you can sprint out of your spawn and then kill people with your flamethrower. So, you know, it's got that utility, but again, it's not the extinguisher. So, you know, but there's how the change worked, guys. Next, onto Demo. The Chargin Targe. This is the original shield that has the bigger bullet, it has the bigger explosive and fire resistance. Now, if you have that shield equipped, you cannot be set on fire. You can still take damage from a flamethrower, but you won't be on fire for 10 seconds. You're like a pyro in that regard. So, what's the big thing here? You can't be extinguished. The extinguisher will only crit if you're on fire. Demo Knights, if you have the Chargin Targe shield equipped, will no longer be on fire, so they can no longer be extinguished. This is a buff to Demo Knights against pyros. It's that simple. And, I mean, okay, you no longer take the afterburn damage, but with the shield and how long the fire took to hurt you, it was negligible anyway. But that's a decent buff to Demo Knights for fighting Pyros. The loose cannon, this is the last weapon that was added for Demoman. It's the one that fires the cannonballs that can bump into people and then they'll explode. So, before, if you hit someone with a cannonball, if you hit their chest directly, it will deal more damage if you were further away. That's not the case anymore. It deals the same damage now. The charge time that you can pre-ignite, you can pre-light the fuse to make it explode faster once you fire it. It's now just 1 second. And now they've added a new thing. The double dunk. If you charge up the loose cannon and you launch the cannonball and it hits an enemy in the chest and then it explodes before it even hits the ground, now that explosion will mini crit. This is big damage and it has a special effect. It has a little hooray little thing appears when you manage this. If you hit someone in the chest and then you've timed it so that the explosion happens after you hit them in the chest. So that's called a double donk now, and it'll deal mini crits. Cool. The loose cannon is kind of hard to use. The pipe launcher is, frankly, I think a little bit better overall. Or the lock and load if you can land those things. But hey, loose cannon got a buff. Awesome. And the expert's ordnance. This was, you might not even know this, but it was the set bonus of having the lock and load and the caber, the exploding melee caber weapon equipped, would give you 10% fire resistance. Useless, never did anything. It's gone now because why was it even there in the first place? Next up, heavy. Heavy doesn't have many changes. The steak sandwich that you would eat, and then it's like the Criticola. You deal mini crits and you take mini crits and you can only melee. Same as a mini cola now as a crit cola. Instead of taking mini crits, you'll now just take 25% more damage. This is actually pretty friggin' bad for heavy. It's a worse case for heavy than it is for scout. With scout, if you're rushing around the critical, especially with the speed boost, it's easy to get out if you get Jaradi on you. That's fine. Heavy can't do that. Heavy can only melee things, and he's not going to be moving super slow. So now, if you want to start punching people with the stake, you can get Jaradi'd and take not only Jaradi extra mini crit damage, but also a flat 25% damage. I don't know if the stake deserved this, to be honest. Meh, you know, I don't think it needed it, but that's a nerf to the stake. And again, maybe a slight buff. If you don't get Jaradi'd, you will be taking 25% extra damage instead of 35% damage, so take it with a grain of salt, guys. Dakolah's bar. It's Dakolah's bar. Don't use the Dakolah's bar, okay? Use a sandwich. The Dakolah's bar will give you 50 extra health, so you've got 350 health. Woot. You know, and it fades away. Terrible. And now it heals you a bit more. Would that increase the amount of health that you actually gain from it? I'm going to have to check this out in-game, and I'll leave it in the description below the video, but really, whatever, Dakolah's bar, who cares? Engineer, next. Gunslinger, here is the mini sentry nerf that they're calling a bug fix, but honestly, I don't think that it was a bug. I think that for mini sentries, basically how it works, guys, is before now, if an engineer placed a mini sentry, if he built one right on the spot while you're trying to fight him, any damage that you deal to the mini sentry while it is building is healing. So, you know, an engineer would place a mini sentry, you would shoot a rocket at it, and then it finishes building and it's at full health. That's not the case anymore, so now you actually have a chance to kill the mini sentry before it builds, or any damage that you deal to it will stay on it when it's finished building. That's a nice mini sentry nerf. So, frankly, it was needed. Rescue Ranger, this is the quote-unquote shotgun that can repair your sentry. This has gotten a nice little buff here. The damage has been increased, but that's not why you equip the Rescue Ranger. You equip the Rescue Ranger to repair your sentry from a distance and to be able to pick up buildings from a distance. And now it's gotten a nice buff. It does half extra, it does 50% extra healing when you shoot your sentry to heal it. Not bad. Nice buff. Short Circuit. This is the secondary weapon that was added in the Deus Ex pack. It's the weapon, it looks like a plug, or, you know, it looks like a friggin' socket kind of thing, that when you shoot, you evaporate, you remove rockets, stickies, anything that could be air blasted simply gets removed by the short circuit. Now, when you destroy something with it, you get a bit of metal back. So it's like the Widowmaker. If you miss, okay, you've just wasted metal, but if you actually remove some stickies, or if you remove a rocket, you get some metal back. A nice buff. I still think it could frankly do a bit more damage, or do damage to sappers or something, whatever. Wrangler. I don't need to tell you what the Wrangler is, you know what it is. Now, if you're wrangling from a long distance away, you'll have less accuracy. Previously, if you wrangled someone all the way across the map, you're killing this guy, he's like at his spawn and you're 500 million miles away, the Wrangler was perfectly accurate. Whatever you pointed the laser on, perfect accuracy for the rockets and the bullets. Now, it'll be less accurate at long range. Think of it this way, think of if you're firing at someone with a shotgun or with the heavy minigun, you're less accurate, the bullets spread out over distance. Now the Wrangler is going to have a bit of that, that's good, the Wrangler was far too powerful at super long ranges. And now also, previously, if an engineer is wrangling, and the whole idea of the Wrangler is that amidst all of its amazing upsides, the downside was that the Sentry will no longer automatically target enemies, it won't detect someone coming near you and automatically kill them for you. So picture this, there's an engineer wrangling his Sentry, you sneak up on him as a Pyro, you kill the engineer, so the Sentry shuts down and it has the 3 seconds of the Sentry is inactive and the shield. But now, because you've killed the engineer, the shield will only last 1 second, whereas the Sentry will still be inactive for 2 more seconds, for 3 seconds total. The reason this is good is because if you sneak up on an engineer who was using the Wrangler as a Pyro and you killed him, you would start to kill the Sentry, but the shield is still there. And the Sentry would still be alive by the time that it reactivated, and it would turn around and friggin' one-shot you. That sucked. Now, if you kill the engineer, that shield will vanish pretty quick, and you actually have a chance to kill the Sentry when the shield is gone. Awesome, that is good. Nice balance to the Wrangler, I like it. Next up is Medic. Crusader's Crossbow. Ugh. This is the alternative to the syringe gun. It can heal friends if you shoot them with the arrow. So, change the arrow projectile. It's now a big syringe. Cool. New trail effects. That means it'll leave a glow or something behind when you shoot it. Whatever. Made the reload animation look a bit better. See, this is nothing. It's got one bug fix in that now you can't heal a soldier holding the flippin' pickaxe. You can't heal him anymore with the crossbow, and other than that, it looks different now. Quick fix. Here we go. It's happening. Where's the Ron Paul gif? Oh my god, it's happening. The quick fix now has overheal, but only 50%. So, you know, it'll only add 50%. So, yeah, 25% of a person's health. Previously, you know, if a soldier has 200 health, a normal medigun will overheal him for half of his health. Half of 200 is 100. The soldier will be overhealed to 300 health, okay? Now, the quick fix will overheal, but only for 50% of normal overheal. So in that case, that would be 50 health for a soldier, a quarter of the total health. For heavy, a heavy will go from 300 up to 375. But still, it's free. The quick fix now has overheal. Good. It's the big... Pardon me, oh my god. It is the biggest problem with the quick fix was the lack of overheal. Another nice change for the quick fix. Previously, if you're quick fixing someone and they get headshotted or they get crit and they die because a quick fix is friggin' terrible, but your friend dies during the Uber, you used to not get the super heal anymore. You'd just be doing nothing. Now, you will actually keep getting the Uber, the super heal. You will keep getting that even if you're not healing anyone. I don't know why this wasn't part of it to begin with, because the Uber will keep making you invincible if you're not healing anyone, so that's good. And a little fix in that one of the big things, one of the small things, frankly, about the quick fix is that when you're using the super heal, you and your friend cannot be pushed back. Apparently, the force of nature could actually still push you back. Now it can't. Good. Vaccinator. This is the latest medigun that was added along with the loose cannon and the Rescue Ranger a few patches ago. It's the one that you cycle through the resistances, and it has many small Ubers. Well, a problem with the Vaccinator is that I'm not going to go into the full mechanics of how critical hits work, but basically the Vaccinator would not stop the extra damage from a critical rocket. If I have rocket resistance, if I've, you know, flippin' half damage taken from rockets and I'm hit with a critical rocket, I half the 100 damage from the rocket, but the flippin' 200 extra critical damage is not reduced by the Vaccinator. Now it is. And when you eat a crit and you prevent the crit damage, it'll suck out the Uber out of you. It'll end that Uber super fast. But hey, it means you won't get one-shotted by a crit rocket anymore with the Vaccinator. It's a nice buff. It's not exactly... It's still, to be honest, not good enough. The whole resistance thing is silly. If you ask me, I saw a post on Reddit lately that it should just do 66%. General resistances to everything, I agree, it's just not worth it. But anyway, hey, let's just move on with the patch notes. On to Sniper. Okay, so the Bazaar Bargain. This is the sniper rifle that starts off charging up power a bit slower, but if you get headshot after a headshot, you charge up faster and faster, so long as you never miss the headshots. So it looks like this was actually charging up 40% slower to begin with, instead of only 20% slower. So now they've fixed that, and it's charging quite a bit faster to begin with. So a nice fix, a nice buff to the weapon. And then aside from that, they also just capped the maximum possible charge speed that you can get up to being double the normal sniper, or perhaps double the 80%. So I'm not sure about that. Okay, so well, onto the Cozy Camper next. Cozy Camper is the secondary shield slot. It's the one that makes you not really get jerky. When you get shot and you're trying to aim, your aim won't jerk around. Now it will no longer make you move super duper slow. You'll move at normal speed now, and the downside is you take 20% more damage. So I mean, you're getting the small heal over time. You're constantly healing for tiny amounts. You're not jittering when you're shot, but you're taking 20% more damage. That means it's nice. Oh boy, it's not good against other snipers in sniper wars. Well, I guess, I mean, if other snipers are just quick scoping you, I guess it makes no difference. If you're taking a quick scope and you're taking 150 damage, then you're dead. That doesn't matter. When you're sniping and using the Cozy Camper, you shouldn't be eating rockets. You shouldn't be hit by pyros. So, I mean, 20% more damage is only really going to affect other snipers and, like, maybe heavies or something. So, I don't think it's too bad. I think this is a buff, because it means that now you can actually move when you're scoped, so long as you avoid taking damage, which is kind of what you're supposed to do as a sniper. So, next on, the Crocodile set, the Croc sniper set, that if you equipped the Sydney Sleeper, which is the piss rifle, if you equip the Bushwhacker with it, and the Darwin's Danger Shield, which gives you 25 health, you could not be headshotted. Well, you could be headshotted, but they could not kill you. This was kind of a spit in the face to good snipers who don't spend all day body shotting people and they quick scope. They could not kill Sydney snipers because of this friggin' set bonus. So now they've removed it and they've half-baked it into the Danger Shield. This is the Crocodile Shield that gives you 25 extra health. Now it will also give you 15% less damage taken by bullets. And this is frankly a buff. It's, you know, I mean, the headshot immunity is gone, to be frank. It was silly, it was annoying, it's gone, I'm glad. It's a nerf to Croc snipers, but, you know, it was kind of cheap. It wasn't nice to play against. So now, the Darwin's Danger Shield has been buffed. Not only do you get 25 extra health, you will also take 15% less damage from bullets. That means heavies, scouts, spy guns, and most importantly, snipers. And so how this is retaining the set bonus is that you can still not be quickscoped. If you have the danger shield equipped, you cannot be quickscoped because you're up at 150 health thanks to the shield, and you take less damage from bullets. If a sniper quickscopes you, you're going to take about 130 damage, so you won't get quickscoped. So that's good, and the thing is, you can use this with the sniper rifle or whatever sniper rifle you want. This is like the new Sniper Wars shield is what's happening here. The big question is, do you mind losing Jaradi? And if all you're doing is sniping and staying way back and not throwing Jaradi and you're far away, to be honest, Darwin's danger shield is looking pretty decent now. So hey, 15% less damage, and the downside is you will now take 20% more damage from explosions. To be frank, this means that, you know, this is a non-issue, and I'm going to explain here why. Is because if you're sniping and you're Sniper Wars and you're far away, you shouldn't be taking explosive damage. You can dodge rockets very easily. Demoman should not be able to hit you with anything as well. So what do you care about explosions? You're just basically getting a free 15% bullet resistance. Now, if you're using the Huntsman and you're in the middle of the fray and maybe you will eat some explosions, then okay. Now we need to consider the explosive damage resistance, but I don't think it's too much of a big deal. I mean, if you're on full health and you're going to be on 150 health with the shield, and a soldier turns around the corner and the soldier hits you with a rocket, you're going to take 120 damage because you're taking more damage. But you're alive because you've 150 health, so he needs to hit you with a second rocket. It always takes 2 rockets to kill a sniper, regardless of the danger shield. It doesn't matter. So, in a one-on-one case scenario, when you've full health, a soldier is still going to 2-shot you. This won't. You're not going to get 1-shotted. So, okay, that's, to be honest, danger shield looking good. Next up, Spy. Dead Ringer. Here we go. Dead Ringer. When you feign death and you go invisible, previously with the Dead Ringer, a spy would get caught. He'd get set on fire. Everyone is trying to kill this frigging Dead Ringer spy. But he's just not taking damage. And he's not taking damage for 8 seconds. And he runs away and he picks up some health and ammo and he's gone. Or, you know, he wastes everyone's time by making them chase him for 8 seconds. Now, if you're dead ringing, if you're feigning death and you're invisible with the Dead Ringer, if you take damage, you're not staying invisible for 8 seconds. If you take lots of damage, you're going to decloak super fast. So this means you can't use the Dead Ringer cheaply. You can't just block damage anymore. You gotta actually feign your death and sneak away. No more friggin' combat soak up damage spy. So there you go, Dead Ringer nerf. But, and I'm loving this, L'Étranger, this is the gun, the pistol, that it deals less damage, but when you shoot people you get cloak back. Now, in addition, when you've got the gun equipped, your cloak will last 40% longer. And this means the invisibility watch, the cloak and dagger, the Dead Ringer, if you equip the L'Étranger, you will have way more cloak. That's insane, and this should also even work if you pick up ammo packs now. They should be even stronger. They should be 40% stronger too, because the cloak just lasts longer. So this is, you know, if you're a spy who just hates engineers and just wants to sap things, or if you never use your gun to kill people and you're just sneaky, use L'Étranger now and you can cloak way farther. That is awesome and I love that. And the spy skill got a bug fix, whatever. So yeah. This, I guess, I mean, this is that buff to L'Étranger and the change to Dead Ringer. I mean, not even the Dead Ringer. Yeah, the L'Étranger, I mean, I guess that's how, instead of, you know, they've removed the Saharan Spy set, which was your decloak was nearly silent and your longer cloak blink time didn't even matter because it was only ever used with the Dead Ringer. So, yeah. So I guess, I mean, instead of making your cloak quieter, your cloak is just longer, which I love. So, wow. So there we go, guys. That is the patch dissected. Super awesome. Let's enjoy it. Hey, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, leave me a comment. So, thanks for that, guys. all the best, and as always, have an exquisite day.